your mother grew up together with his mother.
I know I was in the room, but I forgot that the camera was capturing.
You never gave that phone at any point to any law enforcement official before you got rid of it, correct?
Correct.
You took a screenshot of a text conversation that you had with Collin Albert.
Wait a minute. Why is she offering this information to David? This is very dangerous territory because these people have done something heinous and they know it. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law. Folks, today we are going to start up the Allie McCabe series. It should only be a two-part series, but also with one special bonus, because you may recall that Allie McCabe actually has given her testimony on voir dire outside the presence of the jury, and we have a direct and cross there, and that is going to be a special episode. Even though it happened before her cross-examination, there was a mini cross-examination by David Yannetti before the testimony that we are about to cover. Now, don't forget, we are also going to cover from the first trial, Trooper Guarino's testimony, Brian Albert's, Trooper Paul, and a couple of others. So, without further ado, I bring you the testimony of Allie McCabe in trial number 1 of Karen Reed in May 2024. Let's go.
Ms. McCabe, you have known Collin Albert your whole life, correct?
Correct.
Your mother is Jennifer McCabe.
Correct.
His mother is Julie Albert.
Correct.
And her maiden name was Julie Daniel.
Correct.
Your mother, Jennifer, grew up together with his mother, Julie, correct?
Correct.
You and Collin are extremely close, correct?
Yes.
In fact, you would consider Collin Albert to be one of...
Oh, hey, there's a familiar face to the left of David Yannetti. I was so focused on his testimony. I know I was in the room, but I forgot that the camera was capturing me. I'm sitting next to Kelly Reed in the courtroom. Kelly is her cousin. The reason David Yannetti is reading off all those relationships, I mean, it is obvious, folks. I doubt I have to spell it out for you, but just for the sake of argument, so you understand, right out of the gate, the cross-examination has just started. Direct examination has just concluded in the Karen Reed case in trial number 1 in 2024. But now, why is David going through her relationship with all these people? Because these are names that the jury is familiar with now. These are names that they know. These are people who have testified. This is a biased witness, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. He can't come out and say it, but he has to paint a picture, and that's exactly what he's doing. And it's very effective.
Of your best friends in the world, correct?
Yes, he's one of my best friends.
Now, you claim that you took a screenshot of a text conversation that you had with Collin Albert on January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
Those were the screenshots that were just shown to this jury this afternoon, correct?
Correct.
And you claim that the information on that screenshot actually existed on January 29th, correct?
Correct.
Did you tell your mother, Jennifer McCabe, that you had that text conversation with Collin Albert anytime after January 29th of 2022?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you give to your mother, Jennifer McCabe, a screenshot of that text message conversation?
Objection.
Sustained.
It's fair to say that on January 29th, 30th, 31st, you did not turn over that screenshot to any law enforcement official, correct, of 2022?
No, I was never asked.
No investigator from this case ever asked you for copies or a copy of that screenshot of that text message conversation on January 29th, 30th, or 31st, correct?
Correct.
They also did not ask you for a copy of that screenshot through the whole month of February, correct?
Correct.
In fact, all of 2022, no investigator ever approached you to say, can I have a copy of that screenshot, correct?
Correct.
And in addition to that,
And you yourself never volunteered, hey, you know what? This might be important. I should probably turn this over. Because we later learned that the screenshot was doctored, but we're not there yet, folks. Sorry, spoiler alert. She edited it. But Yannetti needs to get there. He is very slowly approaching the issue from an angle, okay? Watch what Yannetti does. It is magnificent. It is absolutely magnificent how he just comes at her from the side. You never attack a witness head on because you never want to have them see you coming. Always pincer move. Attack them from both sides before they know what just hit them.
you never called an investigator to say, hey, I have a copy of a screenshot of a text message conversation that I had with Collin Albert.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have been relevant at that time,
Okay.
I believe, because Collin was not at the house and wasn't introduced as being there until later.
Wait a minute. Why is she offering this information to David? See, she's already slipping up. She is giving David cannon fodder, and you will see how he's going to use it later. This is very dangerous territory because these people have done something heinous and they know it. She has to help protect them. You will see there is one moment where she slips up almost catastrophically. She even starts crying as a result of that. Watch for that moment.
So your testimony today is that at no time in the year 2022 did you consider it relevant at all that you had this screenshot of this text conversation, correct?
Correct.
Leaving that screenshot aside, but actually before I leave that topic, you didn't turn over that screenshot of a text message until sometime during the summer of 2023, correct?
Correct.
About a year and a half or more after January 29th of 2022, correct?
Yes, when I was asked.
And by that time, the summer of 2023, you had already switched phones, correct?
Yes, believe.
In other words, the iPhone that you had on January 29th of 2022, you know.
Do you notice how heavily she's breathing, by the way? If you watched, and you're more than welcome to go to the trial channel, which, by the way, shout out to you guys once again for graciously giving this content available for everyone to use. And I, by God, am using it because they just cut out all the BS and the breaks, etc. You can watch on direct examination. She was calm. She was fine. But now all of a sudden you can see the breathing. She's trying to control her nerves. She's trying to maintain. It's very, very noticeable up close. I had the luxury, as you already know, of watching this trial in person, and you can't tell from a distance as much as you can this far up close how nervous and scared she is to be up there and to give this testimony.
No longer have possession of that physical phone, correct?
Correct.
You had a new iPhone, correct?
Correct.
And you say that you transferred over the data from the old phone to the new phone, correct?
Correct.
When did you take that screenshot that was displayed to the jury today?
I don't remember.
Was it before or after you got rid of your old phone?
I don't remember.
That's a really good
So
question.
we don't know if that screenshot was from your phone that you got in December of 2022 or if it was from the phone that you had back in January of 2022, correct?
Correct.
That phone that you got in December of 2022, it's now May of 2024. Do you still have that same phone?
The phone My old phone? Is that?
No, my question was, and again, I'm not trying to trick you in any way here. The phone that you got in December of 2022, the new phone at that time, is that the phone, your current phone?
Correct.
Now, before,
By the way, you can tell that she has been coached. They told her, say correct, don't say yes. Who says correct? I mean, in testimonies sometimes maybe, but she hasn't deviated. She's so hyper-focused. Correct, that is correct. Rather than being, yeah, yes, that's what happened. She's kind of distancing herself, not from yes, that's what happened. Correct, your statement is correct. It's a distancing mechanism. Very fascinating. I didn't think about it the first time I saw this testimony.
you got rid of the old phone and got the new one, did any law enforcement official, prior to that December of 2022 time period, or investigator from this case ever ask to examine your physical phone itself?
No.
Did they ever say to you, we would like to do what's called an extraction on your phone?
No.
And you never gave that phone at any point to any law enforcement official before you got rid of it, correct?
Correct.
And the first time that you mentioned that text conversation outside your family was August 3rd of 2023, correct?
Correct.
That was at a proceeding.
The more I think about it, maybe she's just responding to David because he asks her correct, and then she responds correct. She's so scared she can't even deviate from the question. Then say, correct? Yes. Also interesting.
In Boston, correct?
Correct.
Where
See?
me and Mr. Lally and Ms. McLaughlin agree with it.
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah, move along, Mr. Yannetti.
Yes. That proceeding in August of 2023 was less than a year ago, correct? We're in May of 2024?
Correct.
And that was a long time after John O'Keefe was found dead on Brian Albert's lawn, correct?
Correct.
And that August of 2023, when you're revealing that text exchange, that was over a year and a half after January 29th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
And leaving aside the screenshot, as of August 3rd of 2023, no investigator from this case, no state police trooper or anybody from the DA's office had ever interviewed you, right, prior to August of 2023?
I talked to the state troopers, but I don't know if that was before or after.
That was on August 25th of 2023, which is about 3 weeks after your testimony in the other proceeding. Does that refresh your memory?
Yes, then after.
And
Yeah.
at that point in time, on August 25th of 2023, you'll agree with me that you were not interviewed at a police station or a state police barracks, correct?
Correct.
Or the DA's office, correct?
Correct.
You were interviewed by Zoom, correct?
Correct.
And you were not alone at that time in your home, correct?
I'm not sure.
Your mother, Jennifer McCabe, was present, correct?
Okay.
And she was monitoring what was going on in that interview, correct?
Objection.
Was that true?
I don't recall.
Okay. In any case, that too was over a year and a half after January 29th, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, I'd like to ask you some questions about, oh, by the way, you've had an iPhone since you were 12 or 13 years old.
Correct.
And you're now how old?
20.
So 7 or 8 years would be a good estimate as to how long you've worked with iPhones?
Correct.
And obviously you know how an iPhone works, correct?
Correct.
You know how to reply and comment on text messages, correct?
Correct.
And you know that there's a lot of tools open to you to comment on text messages, correct?
Suddenly, up until this point, she was so stoic and direct. And now, all of a sudden, her tune changed. She's becoming a little bit more aloof. She's moving around a lot. She's like I said, we know that text message exchange originally looked like something else. It was doctored. There was evidence of it at the time of the trial. It was dissected, and it has been discovered that there were inconsistencies, basic inconsistencies that were left out when the screenshot was edited. And so you can tell she's getting very uncomfortable because she's terrified of getting caught. And she is going to try to do everything in her power to make sure that she does not get caught. Well, let's see what happens.
Correct.
You can reply to a text using an icon or an emoji, right? To like or dislike something that somebody else said.
Correct.
You can laugh at it, you can love it, you can like it, correct?
Objection.
Right?
Correct.
And they make it pretty easy, right? All you need to do is put your finger or your thumb on a specific message and hold it down, and options appear, correct?
Correct.
And that's where you get the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the ha-ha, exclamation points, question mark, etc.
Correct.
You also have other options, which is down the bottom. There's a kind of a curved arrow where if you click on that, you can forward the message or reply to a specific message, correct?
Correct.
And on the left, there's a trash can, right?
Correct.
And what happens when you click on the trash can?
It will delete the message from your phone.
And it's your testimony that with regard to the screenshot that we saw, there are no deleted messages in that conversation, correct?
Yes.
However,
Did you see that? Yes, that's fascinating. Any psychologist would tell you that body language dictates that her words are not agreeing with her body. There were no text messages that were deleted. Yes, it's a contradiction. And our psyche is actually primed to look for these contradictions because that's how we survive. This is how we thrive. And it's terrifying to see this young girl potentially throwing her entire life away just to protect Collin Albert and his family and his ilk, and the McCabe family, her mother, her father, Matthew McCabe and Jennifer McCabe, which, by the way, has to be a nightmare in and of itself to have those two as your parents who have raised you. But that's another story. But to have to sit there and testify under oath and to lie. You remember my video on perjury? If you have not seen it, go check it out. Trial number 2 is going to be very, very interesting. So, we're going to have to see her meltdown in the next episode. So join me for part 2 of Allie McCabe's cross-examination by none other than David Yannetti in May of 2024 in the case of Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Karen Reed. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.